Push roll. You better with the money trying to act like money isn't everything. I'm having a good time, but nigga doing it. Never mind. Be up all night, hope who's in here. And I don't really know who I'ma lose this year. Oh, I love my team, I love my team. Die for my niggas. Ah. What is up, YouTube? It is time for the fastest live stream west of the Mississippi. I'm Artisan MC, and this is the CArtisan MC commute stream. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. So yeah, survived a torturous night of on call, and now it's time for me to try to go home and actually some food and get some rest. And the only thing that's going through my mind right now is the two videos I need to do when I get home. Not sleeping necessarily, even though I want to, but knowing I still have more work to do. And that's kind of how it is. You know, I'm always working on something. Shout out to my friend Grace on her way to the Philippines right now. She was remarking that, like, you're always doing something. You're always busy. So I'm always working on something. I don't like sitting around doing nothing. So, I mean, when I have time to do that, I enjoy it and I do it. But I'm usually working on something. So, what up, Malika? I see you in here. Says shout out to the people eating artisan. Appreciate you. So, what is this on about? No rest. Oh, bitch about work. Because it would sound like bitching to me, so I don't even want to do this shit. But let me just say, shout out to my ex Sally. Made me fucking laugh today. I appreciate that. The other thing that made me laugh today was seeing that the Ray movie is supposedly canceled as well. That kind of made me laugh in a bit, but I waited to see if it would happen. I'll wait to see an official report that that's going to happen. Other thing that made me laugh today was hearing these goofballs talking about that the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is going to be a trilogy. I'm like, what the fuck? Why? But then I hear that John and Dave's supposed to do it together. I'm like, oh, now I know why. Now I know why. Because that Dave Filoni movie ain't really getting off the ground, is it? There's no interest in a Dave Filoni movie, is there? No fucking way. Not after Ahsoka. No way. So they're gonna have him come and help. Can't see me doing air quotes, but they're gonna have him come and help John do a movie. John don't need no help doing a movie. John is a movie maker. He's made movies successful. What up, Rainfire? So John don't need any help doing a damn movie. But I can bet you money who does. Dave Filoni. He ain't made no movies. Barely made a fucking TV show. And I say barely because most of the show was taken from other shit. So he didn't make anything. So why the hell do we need him on a Mandalorian movie so he can kill it in grand fashion and then take what he learned from there and then try to roll it into his own little movie? Fuck you. What up? I'm listening. That sound like we gonna let him have the training wheels on 3 movies, and then he should be able to put movie director under his credits when it comes up to trying to do his own movie. The fuck out of here. I hope John don't fall for that shit. That usury that they gonna do. Because from what I was hearing, they were gonna use it as a bridge. So it's gonna feed back into the TV shows as well. So you have to watch that shit. I'm like, fuck you. Nope, 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 nope. I hope John don't fall for that. That would be a waste. It'd be a waste of his time, talent, and energy to do a movie that has to link in to Dave's shitty ass TV show to prop it up, to go back and then actually transition back to a movie just to ruin your character some more. No, don't do it. I hope he's smarter than that. I hope so. Yeah, greatness and excellence don't need help. No. I was already in the Star Wars camp before John Favreau showed up. But when John Favreau showed up, I thought, oh, that's cool. He directs movies I like. So he helped baby step to give Dave Filoni his actual title of director because he let him do an episode of The Mandalorian. And from that, he got a whole show. So I guess before they give him his own movie to do, before they actually make him put pen to paper and write it, they're gonna let John carry him around for 3 movies on The Mandalorian and Grogu, and then he can jump off of John again, so he can say he's a movie director now too. Fuck you. This is so silly. This is such bullshit. At this point, it looks like Dave is the Mary Sue. That he is the Mary Sue. Well, he's a great director. Really? On what? Name it. But I can tell you this: that Ahsoka season 2 is dead on my view screen. I may watch it, but I'm not watching it because I want to. I'm watching it because I have to. And I will watch it, review it one time, and be done with that shit like I had spicy food the night before. Wipe and move on. Davy Sue, yeah, it could be a Davy Sue, but that goofy shit, just a add on, a fucking tag along. Getting movie credit just from standing next to John in the movie, directing an actual movie. He got TV directing credits from standing next to John directing the movie, directing the TV show. Like this motherfucker right here. So I hope John don't go for that shit. And for me, I wouldn't be mad at John Favreau for walking away from Lucasfilm altogether. I would not. Don't suffer the next fucking insult. Do not suffer the next insult, the next stab in the back. Just walk. Leave them with that shit. You can come back later after they've burnt the house completely down and somebody else take it from them. Maybe somebody Asian. I don't know. But I would say walk away. Fuck them and that character. Because apparently the Mandalorian ain't good unless John Favreau gets to do it his way with no interference. Since we know Lucasfilm is not the place that Lucas built anymore, it's a place where people go to shit on George Lucas and everything he created. There's no reason for John to hang around there no more. Just waiting for them to try to cut your throat again. Look like they waiting for the red wedding to show up. Got their party favors out. Okay. Let them stew and suffer. But that's just where I am. I don't know if John Favreau there, but because he is more in the know of what's going on in Lucasfilms than I possibly will ever be, um, that has to be a thought in his head. It'd have to be a thought in his head because honestly, I can't understand why he's hanging around there. They're gonna do whatever the fuck they want with that Mandalorian character, Grogu, whatever. They're gonna try to force you to do it. Well, basically, that's like forcing you to kill your own kid for their pagan rituals. So what do you really want to do? I'm thinking walking would be the best course of action because you already saw what they did with your season 3. They destroyed that shit in your face and killed your character in it. Look, there is no more writing on the wall than you need in that shit. Walk. Fuck them, feed them fish, and let them fry it. Let them be. Because I personally don't want to see him have to deal with that shit again. I know he got love for this franchise, but I would not want to see him have to go through that shit again because it's not going to get better. You may think you coming in and trying to save the character or the franchise or fix it or repair it. You don't need to repair it. Leave it the way they fucked it up. Leave it just the way they fucked it up and let them repair it. They got Dave, right? Right? They got Dave. So they should be good, right? Every Star Wars geek around the world should breathe a sigh of relief that KK has Dave on her side, right? So why is this shit sucking? Why do you need John to come back and make a Mando Robo movie? Apparently anybody can do it, right? So why waste his time? Why put up the aggravation? Is this the only person you can get to want to touch this Star Wars stuff? Now, today I was having a couple of competing thoughts outside of that geek stuff. But I'm really wondering, for me, where's my walk away point in all this? And I don't think, for me, I don't think there is one that because of who I am and how I am, I'm going to sit there and suffer through all of this shit. But I will never be able to, like Clockwork Orange, I will never be able to turn away from it. I will just keep seeing it. The horror of what was something I once loved, destroyed, defiled, and just flat out ruined in front of my eyes. And have to continually go back and remember what it used to be, how good it used to be, and let the younger generations have what the hell it is they have of it. I remember talking with JT on a Saturday about Yu Yu Hakusho, and he was going in what he wasn't liking and what they can't do because of the story. And I found myself in an interesting position. My position was I'm advocating for what the studios could do. Not because I think it's right, not because I think it's a good idea, just being able to be in the mind state of how these goofy people would actually try to spin this story further. Because my point to JT was with Yu Yu Hakusho and Netflix, they wouldn't have spent that money, that kind of money, to not do a season 2. They wouldn't. They wouldn't have threw all that stuff in it that kind of messed up the timeline a little bit of how those events happened. If they weren't really trying to get people on board with that show so they can do a season 2. And so where JT knows anime and the manga and is actually telling me the story, how it goes on, the sequence of events that happens, and why they messed it up in the show, I'm sitting there listening to him, deconstructing it, and trying to figure out a way that you could pull that stuff that hasn't been used into a second season. And how they could do it. There is a way for them to do it. Now, from JT's, like, oh no, they can't. And the reason I was telling them that is I was explaining to them about the foundation. How season 2 of the foundation wasn't the foundation book at all. Not a lick. None of it was the foundation novels. None of it was. But they made a interesting second season. If it wasn't called the foundation, you would have watched it and just said, okay, yeah, got some feminist shit in it, but that was nothing cool. But if you compare it to the book, this ain't the book. This is not the second foundation. What is this horse shit? But they still did it. Haven't watched that season. Do I think Apple is not going to plunk money into doing a season 3? Au contraire, mon frere. Yes, they will. Season 3 will be coming, hot and heavy. And it will be a further departure from the book. So explaining that to JT is like, look, man, I just watched this in the foundation. So don't think just because you know the original timeline and sequence of events that happen in the manga, in anime, does not mean they cannot make a second season mangling that shit up anymore. It just means they do. They just take creative license for how they string that shit together. But it can't come back for season 2. They're willing to put the money into it. It will be back for season 2. Look at it this way. You absolutely know One Piece is getting a second season because everybody likes it. Right? They actually took some care in this to try to put all the best beats into Yu Yu Hakusho from 120 some episodes worth of a show. But they didn't get all of them, didn't they? What you think they're gonna do with the rest of them? Just throw them out? That was good. We did that. Moving on, something else next year. Oh no, they're gonna do a second season. Best believe it. A second season. And the story will not be the manga. It won't. Now, hearing myself thinking this and saying that stuff to JT made me think, who the hell am I? At a point. Made me wonder, have I been that beaten down by this shit? Is that what it is? Am I that just throwing my hands up and like, fuck it, it is what it is now? With all of this shit? Because they are not going to hold to the source material. In some ways, they cannot hold to the source material because they're not making it for fans who know the source material. And the people who making it don't know the source material. I mean, I said it before, the wave is here. It's not coming, it's here. You are underneath the undertow. You don't have to do any more than look at the other franchises and which way they've gone. Which means it doesn't have to be within a particular company. It just has to understand that that's the narrative that these motherfuckers in charge are running with. But what's more likely to happen? That they totally snap to and completely adhere to the source material, or like a salad bar, they go through that bitch and pick and choose what they want and throw it together however they fucking feel like. Put it out as season 2. They do some backfilling here and there to try to make it believable why these things, these events can go together based on what they did the last time, and they run with it. And shovel it in front of you. That's not to say that Yu Yu Hakusho sucked. As a person who hadn't watched the anime or read the manga, I liked it, which is probably what they were going for. Which is probably 100% of what they were going for. The person who knows nothing about none of this lore and none of that shit. So me being that person in this instance, I like the show. It just made me want to watch the anime more. That's all it did. Because I'm a person who always wants to go back to the original, right? That's all it did. So if they went into first season like that, what do you think they're going to do with season 2? Popular media hates people who know shit or who know the way it originally was. They hate you. And the main thing they hate about you is the fact that you were vocal about saying this isn't the original material. Look, they got a generation they're trying to program. You need to shut up and let them do it. Because that's pretty much the attitude. Trying to program these younger kids. Shut the hell up. Leave us to our machinations. They have no love for the source material. They hate the source material. And what they do like is the bullshit that they are. That's going to be telling the story for people who had never read the original stuff. Because you are not their target group. They got your money. You're the original producers got your money. They sitting around like I just told my coworkers at work that I'm sitting around waiting for the rest of the racists to do. Well, they're waiting for the rest of the original Puritans to die. The ones who actually know the material. They're waiting for you to die off. They can do with this shit whatever they want to, with no pushback. Don't think so. What's the problem with The Witcher? Problem with the rings and power. What is the problem with Star Wars right now? What's the problem with Baby Sue? There is no rest for the wicked, and they stay busy. They stay at it, looking for another franchise or anything to destroy or remake in their image. So, like, Napoleon rolling up in Egypt and blowing the nose off the Sphinx. Just because. I don't like the way that makes me feel. And it doesn't make me feel like I own it. So I really found myself in a quandary, sitting here not advocating, but, spitting ideas on how they could do a second season for you, Rocket Show, even though they messed up the original timeline. Even though it's the same thing we're looking at the Star Wars. Well, I'm saying that John should walk away. Why are you going to help them fix something they're going to turn it right back around and destroy all over you? You realize they don't want your hands on shit, right? They don't like that you can actually fix things. They don't like that shit. Especially since you're not going to fix it in the way they want it. Why would you sign off to that shit? That'd be like Gina Carano coming back to Star Wars and let Kathleen Kennedy approve the script she was going to read. No, absolutely not. So what do you think is going to happen, John, if you do a Mando movie, a trilogy of movies, with KK still there after what they did to your season 3? KK and Dave there. What do you think is going to happen? You'd have to be a whole idiot to think that they're not going to put the screws to you again. The piece de resistance. You have to be a fool to believe that. That is the play. At this point, you're better off enjoying season 1 and 2 of Mandalorian and wiping your feet off and walking the fuck out of here. Because this is coming for every beloved franchise. It's actually here already. It's not even coming. Not even coming. It is already spooshed in your face. You see, just like I do. And they do not stop. They do not rest. They don't feel pity or remorse. These are the 2000s. They are mimicking, parodying, and straight up plagiarizing their way into destroying every franchise you might have thought you liked. So I find myself talking about the stuff nowadays with a little sense of depression, because it is depressing looking at this shit. Like watching somebody already beat down, tied up and beat down, and then they're gonna go out there and get a couple of more wet, meaty smacks in the face. Just let you know they still able to keep beating this motherfucker up. Like, okay, it's over. It's done. Nope, not done yet. Not done yet. Yeah, no sleep, rain, fire. Yeah, no rest for the weary or the wicked. So, I'm really thinking about the things that I have to look forward to on the geek front this year, and it is the only thing that jumps to mind right now is Dune Part Two. So I don't think of anything else worth looking for, waiting for, hot to watch. I mean, when I went and saw the Book of Clarence Sunday, I finally saw the trailer for the uh, Association of Group of Magical Negroes, or whatever the fuck, American Magical Negroes, whatever they call that shit. I finally saw a trailer for that. So, like some Tom Coonery. I don't know if I want to watch that shit. But it's not on my list for something I just want to go see. I can't think of anything I just really want to go see outside of Dune Part Two. Not for this year. Maybe it's just because I'm tired, but yeah, I'm not seeing it. It's gonna be a cold day for a geek. But apparently, I will learn to weather the storm. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna get out of here. I've done my due diligence for the day and yesterday. Now it's time to get in this house, get a shower, get my food made, and some dinner, and get some sleep. I was up till midnight last night working, so I'm spent. So thank you guys for coming through. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. I'm Artisan MC, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.